All right, folks, grab a cup of coffee and get comfortable, because we have some massive news to cover today. If you've been feeling the pinch from rising prices at the grocery store, the gas pump, and just about everywhere else, you are definitely not alone. Millions of Americans are in the exact same boat, trying to stretch every dollar just a little bit further. Well, we might have some very timely and welcome news just for you. We are getting reports and official confirmations about a new wave of financial relief specifically timed for the holiday season. That's right, we are talking about new Christmas stimulus checks, reportedly starting to go out right now, aimed at helping low-income families, seniors on Social Security, and several other key groups. In this video, we are going to dive deep into every single detail we have. We'll cover who exactly is eligible for these payments, how much money you could be looking at, the specific payment schedules and dates you need to mark on your calendar, and perhaps most importantly, what you need to do to make sure you don't miss out if you qualify. This is a developing story, and we are committed to bringing you the most accurate and up-to-date information as we get it. So, let's not waste another second and jump right into the details. First, let's address the big question on everyone's mind. Are these really new stimulus checks in the traditional sense? The term stimulus check became a household name during the peak of the COVID-19 pandemic when the federal government issued 3 rounds of direct economic impact payments to help people weather the economic shutdown. Those were broad-based, one-time payments approved by Congress through specific legislation. What we are seeing now is slightly different. This isn't a new, massive federal stimulus bill that has passed Congress. Instead, what we are seeing is the activation and distribution of funds from pre-existing programs, enhanced rebates, and state-level initiatives that are all coinciding at the end of this year, creating a similar effect to a stimulus payment for many Americans. It's crucial to understand this distinction. The money is very real and is starting to hit bank accounts and mailboxes, but its origin is from a patchwork of different sources rather than one single new law. Think of it as a perfect storm of financial aid, all arriving at the perfect time to help with holiday expenses. So, where is this money actually coming from? Let's break down the primary sources. One of the biggest contributors to this wave of payments is from various state governments. Over the past year, numerous states have recorded massive budget surpluses, thanks to higher-than-expected tax revenues and previous federal aid. Many of these states, recognizing that their residents are still struggling with high inflation, have decided to return a portion of this surplus directly back to the taxpayers. States like California, Colorado, New Mexico, and several others have already implemented or are in the final stages of distributing these so-called inflation relief or tax rebate payments. For example, California's middle-class tax refund provided payments of up to $1,050 for millions of qualifying residents, and final batches are still going out. These state-level programs are a huge part of what people are referring to when they talk about these new Christmas checks. Another significant source is enhanced and expanded federal benefit programs. While there isn't a fourth federal stimulus, certain programs have built-in cost-of-living adjustments or one-time supplements that are disbursed at the end of the year. The most notable of these is the Social Security Administration's Cost of Living Adjustment, or COLA, for 2024. Social Security and Supplemental Security Income SSI recipients are receiving a 3.2% COLA increase. This increase is reflected in the checks that started going out in January. But the notice and the slightly larger amount feel like a new injection of cash for many seniors and disabled individuals on fixed incomes. Furthermore, some states supplement FEDERALSSI payments, and those amounts can also see annual adjustments. Additionally, programs like the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program SNAP have seen emergency allotments and recalculations of benefits based on inflation, putting more money on EBT cards for food purchases. For a family relying on SNAP, an extra $100 or $200 for groceries in December is absolutely a form of stimulus. There are also energy assistance programs like the Low-Income Home Energy Assistance Program LIHEAP that receive annual funding. Applying for and receiving LIHEAP benefits, especially during the cold winter months, frees up cash that would have been spent on heating bills, effectively acting as a financial boost for low-income households. Lastly, we have tax credits. The Earned Income Tax Credit, EITC, and the Child Tax Credit, CTC, are powerful tools for working families with low to moderate income. While these are typically claimed when you file your taxes, the anticipation of a large refund in early 2024 can influence holiday spending now. Some states have also created their own versions of these credits that are paid out separately. So, when you add all of these different streams together, state rebates, increased Social Security checks, adjusted SNAP benefits, energy assistance, and the looming tax season, it creates a significant financial event for millions of people, perfectly timed for the holidays. Now, let's get into the specifics that you all are waiting for. Who qualifies for these various payments? Eligibility is not universal. It varies dramatically depending on which specific payment we're talking about. We'll go group by group for low-income individuals and families. The eligibility net is cast quite wide for many of these programs, but income is the primary determining factor. For the state-level rebates, you typically needed to have filed a state income tax return. For the previous year, usually 2022, each state sets its own income caps. For instance, a program might be available only to single filers who made under $75,000, and joint filers who made under $150,000. It is absolutely critical to check your specific state's Treasury or taxation department website for the exact criteria. For federal programs like SNAP or LIHEAP, eligibility is based on your household size and income relative to the federal poverty level. Generally, to qualify for SNAP, your household's gross monthly income must be at or below 130% of the poverty line. For a family of 4, that's about $3,250 a month, or $39,000 a year. LIHEAP has similar income guidelines, often set at 150% of the poverty level. These programs also consider assets in some cases. If you are struggling to make ends meet, it is always worth applying to see if you qualify. You might be surprised. For our seniors and those receiving Social Security benefits, the primary boost is the COLA increase. If you are already receiving Social Security, retirement, disability, SSDI, or Supplemental Security Income SSI, you automatically qualify for the increased payment. There is no additional application needed. The 3.2% increase started with the December 2023 benefits for SSI recipients and the January 2024 checks for Social Security retirees. For someone receiving an average retirement benefit of around $1,800, this translates to an extra roughly $55 per month. While it may not seem like a fortune, that extra $55 can cover a week's worth of groceries for a single person or a utility bill. For SSI recipients, who often have the greatest financial need, this increase is even more critical. Other groups that might see a direct impact include veterans receiving disability compensation or pension benefits from the VA. These benefits also received a COLA increase of 3.2% effective December 1, 2023, with the increased payments reflected in the December checks. So, veterans and their families are also part of this end-of-year financial boost. Furthermore, families with children should be keenly aware of the Child Tax Credit. For the 2023 tax year, the credit is $2,000 per qualifying child under the age of 17. A large portion of this credit is refundable, meaning you can get it as a refund even if you don't owe any taxes. This makes it a powerful benefit for working families. While you won't get this money until you file your taxes in 2024, it's important to factor it into your overall financial picture for the holiday season and beyond. Now, for the part everyone gets most excited about, how much money are we talking about? The amounts vary wildly depending on the program, your income, your family size, and your state of residence. For state rebates, amounts can range from a few $100s to over $1,000. As mentioned, California's payments went up to $1,050. For a family, Colorado sent $800 for single filers and $1,600 for joint filers. New Mexico issued rebates of $500 for single filers and $1,000 for joint filers. If you live in a state that approves such a program and you met the criteria, you should have already received a payment or will be receiving one very soon. The key is to check your state's specific announcement. For the Social Security COLA increase, the amount is a percentage. the average monthly retiree benefit increased by about $55 from $1,705 to $1,760. But this is an average. Some recipients will see more, some less, based on their specific benefit. Amount: for SSI recipients, the maximum federal monthly payment increased from $914 for an individual to $943, a raise of $29. For SNAP benefits,